I think I've definitely reached the point where I could live this way forever if I wanted to. Just being in nature 24/7, pretty much. Picking up some groceries and some ice every now and then. I'd probably get a fridge and some solar power and all that and like make it a little bit more comfortable. It's just things falling out of the tree. It's not a snake trying to bite your head off. It's a bit windy today. Yeah. It's funny. What's the difference between how I'm living right now and like how I was living before, or how people generally live? Like what's missing, you know? Like you eat, you sleep, you drink water, and you do whatever else. Like the rest is like just passing time until you die. Appreciating beauty, appreciating life. What if I just never go back? I'm going back. The comfort is too enticing. Like the easiness and the delicious foods and, you know, like how good and how easy everything is in the world. That's the thing that draws me back. But like over time, I've let go of more and more of those things. Like, but I still want them. I still want to go. I just want to visit though. I just want to visit the enticing world of distractions and deliciousness and addictions. I just want to visit, have a little taste, be like, ooh yeah, that hits the spot. Like similar to how I treat alcohol these days. It's like I call it the one drink buzz. Just like one mid-strength beer. Just, ooh, that's nice. That's an experience. Don't need to have anything more than that. Balance, I guess. I think that's balance again. It's like it's a place that makes sense. It's a way to interact with it all that makes more sense. We don't have to consume so much. We don't have to be so addicted. And how much more fun do you have when you get like a one drink buzz on and you go to the beach with your mates, or you can go for a drive even because you're still under the limit. Like you can do everything. There's no problem. I like that. That's how I don't want any restrictions and limitations imposed on me because of anything. So if something in that world, in the world, comes with restrictions and stuff, I'm not really interested. I want my freedom more than anything. I don't want to take any illegal drugs or anything like that because it's just opening yourself up to losing your freedom again. And there's no need for any of it. Like life is so psychedelic on its own. Like it's so interesting and vibrant and alive. And maybe I'm seeing it that way more so because I did go on the psychedelic journey, but I'm sure, like I've said it before, if you just spent more time in nature, you would come to understand how beautiful it is. It's just because you've been looking at it through screens and through like stories and reading about it, like you haven't actually been in it. And it takes time to appreciate nature. Like it's not like, you know, in our modern world, we're just rushing about. We glance at things for a minute. We will, like some people would have given this YouTube video like 3 seconds of attention before they decided I wasn't worth listening to, you know. Everything's like so fast, like TikTok kind of fast, like just shorten and shorten the attention span until there's no attention span left. Well, you can't see nature in 3 seconds. You need weeks, months, years. You need to pay attention. You can't expect it to encapsulate you. You can't expect it to engage you the way that like an overstimulating, super high definition Dolby surround sound blockbuster movie in the cinema is going to engage you. You've got to engage it. You've got to be with it. You've got to communicate with it with your presence. Like you've got to come and get in it. That's how you come to know nature. And you just realize there's so much more going on here than in any of the hyper stimulating stuff that we have. Like once you actually see it, once you're actually aware of what you're sitting in, of what we're all in, even when you're in the city, even when you're in your lounge room with your phone in your hand and the fucking Netflix playing behind it while your partner is also doing the same thing, and like there's no, like you're still in it. It's still all happening around you. There's probably nature, like just the most incredible things happening in the room. Like, I don't know, some insects doing some insect stuff, or like, I don't know, who knows? It's all happening though. It's all around us. Like, if you appreciated it, like just constantly, like that butterfly just shoots past. There's like 20 butterflies over there, and they're all beautiful. And you could like, that's why I love like cameras and stuff as well. You could get up close to them, take some macro photography, and see like them on it through eyes that you don't have naturally. You can see the detail and the just the incredible amount of patterns and everything that are out here. And yeah, just the way it's all connected as well. Like I was saying in one of the earlier journals, like the relationships between all things, it's like just gets bigger and bigger. The more time you spend in it, the more engaging it becomes, and the more absurd it seems that people are disconnected from it. But it's like I said, you have to engage it. You have to come to nature. You have to make a conscious effort to connect with it. Whereas like that other world, it's like so enticing and addictive and fucking epic and awesome, and it's just everything that you want right now. As soon as you touch it, you'll feel a rush of like just great feelings in your body, and like a lot of the time it's followed by a lot of terrible feelings in your body as the side effects of like the drug or the food or whatever kicks in, like all the fatty, greasy, salty foods that just hit your taste buds and explode and send all the signals to your brain. This is what we want. 5 minutes later, you're just like, oh man, why did I do that? But your body doesn't understand. It doesn't make the connection. It just knows that was awesome. More of that. So it takes a little bit of conscious effort to program ourselves in a healthy way, doesn't it? I do love being out here. But no matter how much I talk shit about the other world, like I still want to go to it. I still want to like, yeah, just have the convenience and the luxury and the deliciousness. Food, I've got this new thing with food. Since I've been traveling and since I've been like, I always kind of ate simply. Like I'm not eating very differently at all to how I would have if I was at home. But just, I can't treat myself whenever I want. I can't just go get like a cafe breakfast, or like, I can't do all those things. So like suddenly food has just become like the most, yeah, just, I savor it. I had a pub dinner last night with like everything. Like I just got the biggest feed ever and I just loved it. It was just like the best thing ever. So I don't know, maybe the pendulum will end up swinging back the other way. I'll spend all this time out here connecting to nature and like letting go of all of my addictions and like attachments to everything, and then I'll go back into the world and I'll just want it even more, because like it's like the rubber band effect. You pull it back. The further you pull it back, the more it fucking slingshots you when you let go. But I don't know. It's like, it doesn't have to be that way. That's a story that I'm telling myself, and I can make it real, or I could just have self-control and be who I want to be and not make excuses. Like, not create a story that becomes an excuse so that I can be like, oh yeah, it's just too hard not to do all the things. It's just too hard to not have my addictions and attachments. It's not too hard. I can do it. But do I want to? That's the thing. But that's also the subtle little trick to it in your mind. The games that you sort of play with yourself that you're not even aware of. I can quit anytime I want. You've heard that before? Okay, do it. I don't want to. But I don't have any hectic vices. It's like, yeah, a delicious feed is like my attachment and addiction, you know? Or, yeah, that's pretty much it. Or just comfort. But that's not really an addiction or attachment. It's just nice. Like, a big comfy bed would go down a treat right now. Or yeah, just all of the luxury and comfort. I could go for that after being out here for sure. But that's just, I feel like that's just so natural. That's human nature. Like, to just want to be comfortable. But I guess if you didn't know any different, like if you just lived in the bush your whole life, you wouldn't really think about it. Nah, you would. If somebody showed you one time like an air-conditioned hotel room with a big scooshy bed and a unlimited hot shower and room service, and you did that one time, you'd be like, yeah, this is better. I'm doing this. But like I said in other journals, like, we domesticate ourselves and we become reliant and dependent on all this shit, and then we don't know how to fucking exist anymore. That's my thing right now. Like, I just want to be able to thrive, like really, really thrive, and just be strong and solid, and yeah, in all ways, just be able to fucking rock life and never, like, have no limitations, just be able to waltz into any situation and be like, yeah, I got this. And you kind of lose that if you mollycoddle yourself, if you just like give yourself all the nice things all the time. But I don't know. I could be the crazy one. Most likely am. It's also like based on like my past life experiences and all these things. Like, I'm sure it would be different for others. But like, I've been homeless before, and like hectic homeless, addicted homeless, and not knowing, like, and like suicidal and all fucked up. And like not knowing which way is up, and like having no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So like living in a swag and having a esky full of fruit and cold water and having a campfire every night and knowing what I'm doing, having plans, having goals, being solid. Like, this is easy, but it's relative, right? Like, somebody else might be like, whoa, that is so insane what you're doing right now. But there's also a lot of people who are like, that's so insane what you're doing right now, but I totally want to do it too. Like, I totally want to just like see what I'm made of. And yeah, that's natural. So there's like balance with that too. Like, I want to see what I'm made of. I want to see what I'm capable of. I want to see how far I can push the limits. But I also want somewhere nice and beautiful and warm and soft and delicious to retreat to. I don't know. I had a big insight, a big like epiphany when I was in Thailand. I'm thinking of Thailand again. That was like years ago. But it was like, I flipped over, everything flipped inside out, upside down kind of thing. And I realized I've been living in that world, like going to work, like just doing everything in that world. And I was going on these little holidays to nature. And I had this thing where I was like, why don't you spend all your time in nature and just like go on holidays to that world? Like, and that's kind of like, I've been slowly building to doing that, like having much more nature and much less of that world. That world, I'm just referring to like normal society where there's like shops and shit, you know? I'm pretty sure that's clear. Like, where you can get anything you want as long as you got money in your wallet. That world. Out here, it's not quite like that. You can't just like make things happen with this magic plastic shit that we have in our wallets. We don't even use the actual cash money anymore. We use it just one Yeah, card, one rectangle card of plastic, and that represents all of our influence over reality, basically. And we can like tap it, and people do things or give us things or services or whatever. It's crazy, but it's where we're at. It's cool. I love it. I love both worlds. Um, I love that we're like technologically advanced and like we're always like growing in that way. I just think it could be more sustainable and stuff. And I think if more people spent more time in both worlds, then both worlds would be healthier, like as a result. I think that's what I'm trying to get at with this video. That's like my takeaway. I don't know what anybody else was imagining and having insights about while I was going on about all this stuff. But if you enjoyed it, click the like button for me, leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again very shortly.